This day in sports history. This episode is brought to you by the Sterling Soap Company. I'm a big fan of shave soap. I've been using different brands for years, and I recently gave Sterling's shave soaps a try, and I've been very happy with the results. Sterling's shave soaps give you a great lather and a frictionless feel that allows the razor to glide right over the skin for a super close shave. No skin irritation and a clean, refreshing feel with no soapy residue after. I can tell you without a doubt, it's simply the best shave I've ever had. And my wife has noticed too. And here's the thing. With the ability to purchase 1-ounce sample pucks, you can try out different scents to find the right one for you. Give Sterling Soap a try today. Visit sterlingsoap.com. That's STIRLING soap.com. It's February 20th, and on this day in 1952, Emmett Ashford became the first black umpire to be certified in organized baseball. That's not to say that he would soon be stepping onto a Major League Baseball field to call balls and strikes or work the base paths anytime soon, just that he had made it to the point that he could. He would have to wait another 14 years before he made his debut in the majors. Now listen, that's not to say that umpires don't need a little bit of seasoning in the minor leagues before getting the call up, but Ashford spent an inordinate amount of time in the minor leagues, all while enduring racist chants by fans, players, and fellow umpires. Ashford finally made his major league debut in 1966, becoming the first black umpire in the majors. By that point, he was in his 50s, and his eyes were not as good as they had once been. But Ashford had a flair for calling balls and strikes, something that made him a celebrity to some and an aberration for others. He continued to endure racist taunts the remainder of his career, something that Jim Bouton wrote about in his book, Ball 4. On this day in 1929, the Boston Red Sox agreed to move that season's Sunday and holiday games away from Fenway Park. At this point in time, Massachusetts had a Sunday sports law that barred any games being played within 1,000 feet of a church. A small part of Fenway sat 1,000 feet from St. Clement Eucharistic Shrine, which was built in 1923. And because of that, they were not allowed to play Sunday ball games there. It nearly became a boom for nearby Revere Beach that proposed building a stadium for the Sox to play their Sunday and holiday games, but that plan died when the Boston Braves agreed to let the Red Sox play their Sabbath games at Braves Field. On this day in 1998, American skaters Tara Lipinkski and Michelle Kwan finished 1-2 in Nagano to take gold and silver in the women's individual figure skating competition. Lipinkski had finished second to Kwan at the U.S. Nationals a few months before and trailed Kwan entering the free skate portion on this night. Lipinkski made up the ground she needed to eclipse the deficit and took the gold medal. In doing so, Lipinkski became the youngest winner of a Winter Olympics individual event at 15 years and 255 days old, beating Sonja Henie's 70-year-old record by 2 months. The women's individual figure skating competition was also known for one additional thing on this night. Just before Lipinkski took the ice and wowed the judges with her performance, French figure skater Surya Bonaly wowed the crowd instead, while also giving a figurative middle finger to the judges, becoming the first woman to ever do a backflip in competition.
Backflip, totally illegal in competition. She's doing this to get the crowd. She's gonna get nailed.
You can hear the gasps from the knowledgeable crowd. That's an in-your-face move. While the reaction from this judging panel will be really interesting.
And yeah, as Vern Lundquist alluded to, they did not like it one bit. And as you heard Scott Hamilton say, it was illegal at that point to do a backflip. Bonaly's backflip was not scored, and she finished a distant 14th. The backflip had been part of a few men's routines up until 1976, when it was banned from competition following that year's Winter Olympics. However, the ban on backflips was lifted last October, so you may see a return of them in 2026 for the next Winter Olympics, hosted by Italy. Hey, I needed to call a quick timeout to let you know that we're giving away a $50 gift card to Homefield Apparel. Have a favorite college sports team? Of course you do. You're listening to a sports podcast. Well, Homefield Apparel has all the great gear so you can support your team in style. Jerseys, hoodies, hats, and a whole lot more are available in your team's colors and insignias. So go to sportshistorynetwork.com/giveaways for your chance at a $50 gift card to Homefield Apparel. I've also put a link in the show notes. Now, let's get back out there. We've got more of this episode to do. On this day in 1981, soon-to-be track and field star Carl Lewis announced his presence as a future force to be reckoned with as a collegian at the University of Houston. While competing at the Southwest Conference Indoor Track Championships, Lewis broke the world record in the long jump with a mark of 27 feet 6 inches, and then he followed that up with the then third fastest time in the world in the 60-yard dash, just 200ths of a second off the world record time in that event. On this day in 1955, golfer Mike Souchak set a record that would not be topped for 46 years. Souchak had been a two-sport star at Duke, playing both football and golf. Now in his third year as a pro and looking for his first tour win, Souchak was playing in the Texas Open. He got off to a great start, firing a 60 in the first round to tie the PGA Tour record. That 60 included a scorching back nine in 27 strokes, which broke Ben Hogan's 9-hole mark. But those are not the records we're talking about today, since those happened on the 17th. Here on the final day of the tournament, Souchak continued his assault on the Brackenridge Park golf course. Despite temperatures hovering just above the freezing mark and a brisk, chilling wind, Souchak fired a final round 65 for his first tour win. He finished the tournament 27 under par for a final four-round total of 257, both PGA Tour records that would stand for decades. His relation to par record would not be broken until the 1998 Hawaiian Open, when John Houston finished at 28 under par. And Souchak's four-round total of 257 stood until Mark Calcavecchia posted a 256 in the 2001 Phoenix Open. Souchak would win another 14 PGA Tour events in his career, but missed out on winning a major, finishing in the top 10 11 times, but never finishing better than third. And time now for today's non-sports fun fact. The vending machine can trace its roots back to the 1st century CE. An invention by the Greek engineer and mathematician Heron was used to receive a coin and then dispense holy water. This has been an original Thrive Suite production.